going today? It is so good to see you as always. Today we're doing a little bit of a test with the 20mm Z 1.8, and the test is this. I'm going to see how it looks on the Z7, the Z6 and the Z50. And hang out to the end of the episode to see what the 50-250 Nikon Z50 kit lens looks like on a full frame camera.
Yesterday, we were on our way, but November came, and I wish it was yesterday. Yesterday, we were on our way, but November came, and I wish it was yesterday.
Okay, well, this is the Z7 with the shutter at 1/8000th of a second at f1.8, shooting at 4K high quality. Okay, now here is the Z6, 1/8000th of a second shutter speed, f1.8, ISO 100, where the Z7 was ISO 64. In both cases, we are at base ISO. Now here is the Z50 with its crop factor, so we're shooting DX. The shutter only goes up to 1/4000th of a second, so due to that I've had to make it f2.2. How does it look? Okay, so here we are shooting with the Z6, 1/8000th of a second, f1.8, ISO 100, no ND filter, and focus is on the horizon. How does that look? Well, the tide's come in to ruin my second shot, so we are going to have to move. It's just about to hit my tripod. Don't know if you can see it down there, but it was a long way away before. Now it's quite close. Here we are at 1/8000th of a second, f2.8, ISO 64 on the Z7. Okay, well here we are at 1/8000th of a second at f2.8, ISO 100, and a dog crazily barking in the background. I had to move. I was basically in the middle of the shot, but the tide is coming in. Now, if you have a nice big screen, you can freeze frame this image and scrutinize the Z6 and the Z7. Just hit pause at any time and you can have a bit of a look at the buildings in the background. Also, we can see the exposure difference because the Z7 on the right is 64 ISO versus 100 on the left. And here's the Z50, and because I can only go to 1/4000th of a second, I'm at f3.2, ISO 100. 4K. Obviously it is cropped, a cropped sensor. Okay, so here is the Z7 at 1/8000th of a second at f2.8, ISO 64, 4K, 24 frames per second high quality at FX, and then I'm going to try and match the Z50 by going to DX, and here that is right now. So here we are, hopefully matching the frame of the Z50. How does it look? What do you think? I like it. And it turns this 20mm lens into a 30mm lens, and you still get your 4K, and you still get almost 20 megapixels if you've got the Z7. Versatile. Okay, so here's the Z6 at 1/8000th of a second at f2.8, ISO 100, 4K, 24 frames per second. White balance set to daylight, and we have no neutral density filters. I do just have a straight UV on the front, more for protection than anything else. Now let's crop it to DX to see what it looks like. How bizarre. Okay, here we are with the Z6 1/8000th of a second at f2.8, ISO 100, 24 frames per second, and now we're in DX crop mode, hopefully to match the Z50. How's it looking? Okay, well here we are at 1/4000th of a second, f3.2 on the Z50. We are cropped, we're running 4K high quality, 24 frames per second, ISO 100. Again, you can pause this image at any time to scrutinize the Z7, the Z6 and the Z50. What we can see here is an amazing consistency between these three cameras, all at very different price points, from $1,000 up to $4,000. This is a great effort from Nikon to show such consistency with the 20mm 1.8s looking terrific. Okay, so this is the Z50 kit lens, the 50 to 250. And I've got it all the way round to 250, so that is the equivalent of 375 mils. We're probably 7 kilometres from the buildings you can see behind. I don't think those people are really practicing social distancing, are they? I'm miles away from them on a rock that pretty much nobody's on. But you can use this kit lens on a Z6 or a Z7 and still get fabulous results. Yes, we're at 6.3, but during the day like this, completely fine. Here's some seagulls that are about 50 metres away, 375 mils, looking good, looking good. Shooting straight into the sun. Yeah, it's looking good. Nice. Chromatic aberration non-existent. That's very impressive. How are they doing that? I am very impressed. The other thing we have here is dual stabilization, and that means it's very stable, silky smooth. So I think that's looking good. We'll have a look at the Westgate Bridge, which is about as close as we get to Sydney Harbour Bridge, although we do have our Baltic Bridge as well, of course. But again, that's at full stretch. We can make out the cars on the bridge, and that would be over 10 kilometres away. Pretty cool. Okay, so there's the boat at 50mm, and if we stretch all the way out, it disappears because I didn't put it in the centre of frame. That's pretty funny. But there it is at 375. Very interesting. And in the very distance next to it, we can see a place called the Yuyangs. That's the Yuyangs there. Also, I'm very impressed by the stabilization. This is 375 mils. I'm just kind of hand holding this on top of my tripod, but that's stable. Okay, well that's a wrap for today. I think it's really interesting to see this very affordable, basically a $200 lens when you buy it as part of a kit. $200 lens on the Z7, delivering in bright sunlight, delivering results that is worth paying for. And let's end on this shot here. I'll just pull it out a smidge. Bit of framing, bit of water, bit of people, and the city in the background. Alright everybody, please let me know what you think. How does the Z50 kit lens, the DX lens 50 to 250, how does the 50 to 250 work for you? Do you think it works? Considering it's $200? Bought in the kit? Yeah. See ya.
Yesterday, we were on our way, but November came, man, I wish it was yesterday.
Well, that's interesting. This lens works across all of these cameras successfully. I love it. It looks great. As always, thank you so much for being here and joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think of this lens. And do you think you'd stick one on your Z50, your Z6 or your Z7? Alright, as always, if this is your first time here, please subscribe. I'd love to see you again. Please share, please like, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Alright, bye for now.